President Trump, First Lady mark 9 and 11 with a solemn vow to never forget. Today, today on his 24th anniversary, President Donald J. Trump and the First Lady, by the way, stood solemnly at the Pentagon to commemorate the 2,977 lives lost in the 11th of September 2001 terrorist attacks, and through powerful words and ceremonial wreath-laying President Trump, and recounted, by the way, the acts of extraordinary and heroism that defined that day and renewed America's sacred promise to protect its people and uphold its values, and ensure, by the way, the light of freedom and endures for generations to come on the fateful day. And the savage minister, by the way, ministers attacked the very symbols of our civilization, yet here now in Virginia and in New York, by the way, and in the skies over Pennsylvania, Americans didn't hesitate. They stood, by the way, on their feet and they showed and they stood on their feet and they showed the world that we will never yield and we will never bend, by the way, and we will never give up. And our great American flag will never ever fail. And in the quarter, by the way, of a country since those acts of mass murder, 9 and 11 family members have felt, by the way, the weight of missed birthdays and empty bedrooms and journals left unfinished and dreams, by the way, dreams left unfulfilled, by the way, and to every member that still feels a void in every day of your lives. And the First Lady, by the way, and I unite with you in sorrow. And today as one nation, and we renew, by the way, our sacred vow that we will never forget in 11th September 2001. This morning, by the way, we recall the light of America's best and bravest, and the love that they showed in their final moments. In their memory, by the way, we make a solemn pledge and a noble promise, and we will honor always our great heroes, and we will defend the nation they served, and the values, by the way, they upheld, and the freedom for which they did. And we will support our troops, and we will protect, by the way, our families, and we will preserve the American way of life for every future generation. And we will build taller and grow stronger and fight harder and soar higher and together. And we will go, by the way, forward as one people with one heart and one faith and one flag and one glorious destiny under one Almighty God. And by the way, Trump spoke of Americans' selfless acts of love and devotion in their final moments. And amidst the horror of that morning, some used, by the way, cell phones and office lines to whisper their final words to those who mattered most. They whispered ended President Trump. By the way, the Trump honored the memory of U.S. Army and Cole Cape Taylor, a young father, by the way, who was killed in the attack on the Pentagon, and was son Luke, and is now a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. And the spitting, by the way, image of his dad, Luke says that every time he puts on the uniform, and he feels connected to his father and to our country. But it was a father, by the way, he never knew. Luke and your parents are together, by the way, in heaven, and they could not be prouder of the man that they have produced. And President Trump, by the way, recounted the heroism of Army first class Steve Workman, who risked his own life to save others at the Pentagon. And after leading, by the way, hundreds of people to escape routes, and Steve turned back and plunged into the inferno itself and pushing through the debris, and he came open, by the way, a severely burned Navy, and is the only, by the way, survivor from the Navy Command Center. The wounded, by the way, looked into Steve's soul and says that, don't let me die. And Steve replied, by the way, I won't. I have got you. Just hang on. Thank you so much. Have a nice time and great day. Thank you.